powerful vintage photos that tell hidden stories of the past. This shocking image shows South Vietnamese Police Chief Nguyen Ngoc Loan executing Viet Cong member Nguyen Van Lem in the street. Although the photo has become synonymous with the horrors or war, the photographer, Eddie Adams, said he felt sorry for Nguyen Ngoc Loan, as he felt the image ruined his life and the life of his family. Perhaps the most heartbreaking image ever taken, Kevin Carter's picture of a starving girl in Sudan, taken in 1993, sparked much controversy. Carter would commit suicide a year after taking the photo, at the age of 33. It is unknown if the girl in the image survived. U.S. Army troops weighed ashore during the D-Day Normandy landings on June 6, 1944. World Press Photo of the Year, 1994, James Nachtwey, USA. Magnum Photos for Time. Rwanda, June 1994. Hutu man mutilated by the Hutu Interahamwe militia, who suspected him of sympathizing with the Tutsi rebels. About the image, Nachtwey says his specialty is dealing with ground-level realities with a human dimension. He feels that people need photography to help them understand what's going on in the world, and believes that pictures can have a great influence on shaping public opinion and mobilizing protest. And of course, the Afghan girl, picture shot by National Geographic photographer Steve McCurry. Sharbat Gula was one of the students in an informal school within the refugee camp. McCurry, rarely given the opportunity to photograph Afghan women, seized the opportunity and captured her image. She was approximately 12 years old at the time. She made it on the cover of National Geographic next year, and her identity was discovered in 1992. The iconic photo of Tank Man, the unknown rebel who stood in front of a column of Chinese tanks in an act of defiance following the Tiananmen Square protests of 1989. Photo by Jeff Widener. A line of soldiers march in British Columbia on their way to a waiting train, as 5-year-old Whitey Bernard tugs away from his mother's hand to reach out for his father. A firefighter gives water to a koala during the devastating Black Saturday bushfires that burned across Victoria, Australia in 2009. Photo by Mark Pardue. Lewis Hines photos, such as this one of breaker boys who picked pieces of slate from conveyor belts as freshly broken pieces of coal rolled by, helped raise support for child labor laws. Library of Congress, Prints and Photographs Division, National Child Labor Committee Collection. The image of U.S. Marines planting the American flag on Iwo Jima during World War II has been called the famous news photo of all time. In a defining image of the Vietnam War, the wounded Marine Gunnery Sergeant Jeremiah Purdy, center with bandaged head, reached toward a stricken comrade after a fierce firefight south of the DMZ, October 1966. In 1961, Ham the chimp made history as the first hominid in space. Trained by NASA, he was launched aboard Mercury Redstone 2, proving that living beings could survive and function in microgravity. After a brief but daring journey, Ham's capsule safely splashed down in the Atlantic. Rescuers found him alive and even smiling, as if he knew he had just changed history. His bravery paved the way for human spaceflight, leading to Alan Shepard's mission just months later. Ham retired peacefully, forever remembered as a true space hero. In these photos taken from U.S. military aircraft, atomic mushroom clouds are seen rising over the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki as the atom bombs leveled everything to the ground. The picture on the left is of Hiroshima, bombed on August 6, 1945, while the picture on the right shows the Nagasaki bombing on August 9, 1945. The bombs killed nearly 160,000 people in Hiroshima and another 75,000 in Nagasaki. The work of Ron Haviv has left an indelible mark on the history of photojournalism. His unflinching examinations of war, conflict, and peril have shone light onto some of the darkest points in human history. In 1989, whilst documenting the political instability in Panama, Haviv captured an image of then Vice President Guillermo Ford being attacked by supporters of Manuel Noriega. The graphic image shows Ford, covered in blood, as he attempts to evade the blade being swung at him. Kate Garagdy is one of Australia's most acclaimed photojournalists. Having won 5 Walkley Awards, she has documented war and conflict across the globe for over 20 years. Her photography is both shocking and deeply human in equal measure, providing the space for civilian narratives and the effect that conflict has upon bystanders. This human-centered approach can be seen in her image of Abdul Rahman, a young boy in a hospital bed. Which of these historical photos surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments.